On April 15, 1707, a star was born in the world of mathematics. Leonhard Euler came into this world in Basel, Switzerland. His arrival would change the course of mathematical history. Euler was born to Paul Euler, a pastor, and Marguerite Brucker, the daughter of a pastor. From the very beginning, young Leonhard was surrounded by an atmosphere of learning and curiosity. The Euler family lived in the small village of Riehen, near Basel. It was here that Leonhard spent his early years. Even as a child, Euler showed signs of extraordinary intelligence. His parents noticed his quick mind and eagerness to learn. They made sure to nurture his talents from an early age. Euler's father, Paul, had studied mathematics in his university days. He became Leonhard's first teacher. Paul introduced his son to the basics of mathematics. Young Euler absorbed these lessons like a sponge. It was clear that this child was destined for greatness in the field of mathematics. Leonhard Euler's formal education began at the age of 8. He attended the Latin school in Basel. Here he received a general education typical of the time. But Euler was far from a typical student. He quickly outpaced his classmates in mathematics. His teachers were amazed by his ability to solve complex problems with ease. At the age of 13, Euler enrolled at the University of Basel. This was unusually young for a university student, but Euler was no ordinary teenager. Female historian, media, ancient theological and philosophical texts with Greek inscriptions. He initially studied theology, philosophy, and Greek. His father wanted him to follow in his footsteps and become a pastor. However, Euler's true passion was mathematics. He couldn't ignore the call of numbers and equations. During his time at the university, Euler caught the attention of Johann Bernoulli. Bernoulli was one of the leading mathematicians of the time. He recognized Euler's extraordinary talent. Bernoulli became Euler's mentor and friend. After completing his studies, Euler faced a challenge. There were few academic positions available in Switzerland. He applied for a physics professorship at the University of Basel. Despite his brilliance, he was passed over due to his young age. This setback did not deter the young mathematician. Instead, it opened up new opportunities. Euler's friend. In 1727, Euler accepted a position at the St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences in Russia. This move marked the beginning of his professional career. At the Academy, Euler worked on a wide range of mathematical problems. He quickly gained a reputation as a brilliant and prolific researcher. His colleagues were amazed by his ability to solve complex problems with ease. During his time in St. Petersburg, Euler's output was extraordinary. He published numerous papers on various topics in mathematics and physics. His work covered areas such as number theory, analysis, and mechanics. Euler's papers were known for their clarity and insight. He had a gift for explaining complex ideas in simple terms. Euler's fame began to spread beyond Russia. Euler's contributions to mathematics were vast and varied. He made significant advances in almost every area of mathematics known in his time. One of his most famous works was in the field of analysis. Euler introduced the concept of a function and developed much of the modern notation used in mathematics. His work laid the foundation for calculus as we know it today. Female historian. In number theory, Euler made several groundbreaking discoveries. He proved Fermat's last theorem for the case n equals 3. This was a problem that had puzzled mathematicians for over a century. Euler also made important contributions to the study of prime numbers. He discovered the connection between the Riemann zeta function and prime numbers. This discovery is still central to number theory research today. Euler's work in geometry was equally impressive. He developed the formula V minus E plus F equals 2, known as Euler's formula. This formula relates the number of vertices, edges, and faces in a convex polyhedron. It is a fundamental result in topology. Section 5. Euler's influence on physics and engineering. Euler's brilliance was not confined to pure mathematics. He made significant contributions to physics and engineering as well. Female historian. In mechanics, Euler formulated the laws of motion of rigid bodies. These laws are still fundamental to classical mechanics today. He also made important contributions to fluid dynamics. The Euler equations, which describe the motion of inviscid fluids, are named after him. In optics, Euler made advances in the understanding of light and lenses. He studied the properties of lenses and mirrors. His work laid the foundation for the development of modern optical devices. Female historian Euler also contributed to the field of astronomy. He developed methods for calculating the orbits of comets and planets. His work improved the accuracy of astronomical predictions. Euler's work had practical applications in engineering. He studied the buckling of columns, a problem important in construction. His formula for the critical buckling load is still used by engineers today. Female historian Euler also made contributions to naval engineering. Section 6. The personal life of a brilliant mind. Despite his intense focus on mathematics, Euler led a full personal life. In 1734, he married Katharina Zell. The couple had 13 children, although only 5 survived to adulthood. He often worked with his children, playing at his feet. In 1735, he lost the sight in his right eye. He famously said, "Now I will have less distraction." Later in life, he became almost totally blind. Euler continued to work by dictating to his assistants. Despite his fame, Euler was known for his modesty and kindness. Euler was also deeply religious throughout his life. Section 7. Euler's later years and continued work. In 1741, Euler accepted an invitation from Frederick the Great of Prussia. He moved to Berlin to join the Berlin Academy. He wrote over 380 articles during his time in Berlin. Euler's reputation grew even further during this period. I had disagreements with Frederick the Great. In 1766, Euler returned to St. Petersburg. Even as his eyesight failed, his mathematical work continued unabated. Euler remained active until the very end of his life. Section 8. The legacy of Leonhard Euler. Leonhard Euler's impact on mathematics is hard to overstate. He was the most prolific mathematician in history. Euler published over 850 papers and books in his lifetime. His collected works fill over 70 volumes. This vast body of work touches on nearly every area of mathematics. It continues to influence mathematical research today. Contemporary mathematician Euler introduced much of the mathematical terminology and notation used today. The symbols fx, e, I, and pi are all due to Euler. He also standardized many mathematical functions. Euler's work made mathematics more accessible. His clear writing style and intuitive explanations helped spread mathematical knowledge. Many of his books became standard textbooks in schools across Europe. One of Euler's lasting legacies is the Euler-Euler method. This is a numerical procedure for solving ordinary differential equations. It's still widely used in physics and engineering. Euler's work in number theory laid the groundwork for modern cryptography. His discoveries continue to have practical applications in computer science and data security. Section 9. Euler's impact on modern mathematics. The influence of Leonhard Euler on modern mathematics cannot be overstated. His work forms the foundation of many areas of contemporary mathematical research. In number theory, Euler's ideas continue to inspire new discoveries. The Euler-Mascheroni constant, which he first studied, remains a subject of intense research. Mathematicians are still trying to determine whether this number is rational or irrational. Contemporary mathematician Euler's work in analysis laid the groundwork for complex analysis. This field is crucial in modern physics and engineering. His investigations into infinite series and the exponential function are fundamental to many areas of mathematics. The Euler-Maclaurin formula, which connects sums and integrals, is still an important tool in numerical analysis. In graph theory, Euler's solution to the 7 bridges of Königsberg problem is considered the birth of topology. Section 10. Remembering the master of numbers. Leonhard Euler's name is synonymous with mathematical genius. His contributions span the entire spectrum of mathematics, from number theory to calculus, from geometry to music theory. Euler's work forms the backbone of modern mathematics. His legacy lives on in the equations, theorems, and concepts that bear his name. Young student Euler's life story is an inspiration to mathematicians and scientists. Despite personal challenges, including near-total blindness, he continued to produce groundbreaking work. Euler's dedication to his craft and his ability to see beauty in abstract concepts set him apart. He showed that mathematics is not just a tool, but a way of understanding the world. The sheer volume of Euler's work is staggering. It took almost 50 years after his death to publish all of his writings. Even today, mathematicians continue to study and build upon Euler's ideas. His work has stood the test of time. It remains relevant and insightful centuries after it was first conceived.